Right. Hello, y'all. Happy witching hour. This is High Priestess Jamila. I'm sitting here kind of threading my hair. I'm gonna twist it. My hair has grown so much. I need to get a blow dryer so that I can show off my length and do like a blowout. It's definitely gotten longer. Um, just that the shrinkage is real with us black girls. I wanted to come and speak about something real quick that has been plaguing me on YouTube. And, I'm sorry, but some of these grown men on here that are so thirsty for some kind of love and affection or human interaction has nothing to do with anybody but themselves. This is something that is inside of yourself that is a problem. And you know what? I blame it on they mamas. A lot of these, I'm sorry, a lot of black males on here, they are so devoid. I didn't have the best relationship with my mother when I got up in my upper 30s or whatever. Um, and that was for other reasons. But it's something that's called self-love, Like, I mean, whenever you are so thirsty for some kind of interaction with a woman, or to where you're forcing this, and I'm gonna tell you what these men are going through. And see, I'm single, and I'm even made fun of because of that, but I've got self-love. I feel fulfilled in life. I know how to fulfill myself. First of all, I'm an only child. There would be no reason for me to, like, literally, I understand that if a dude likes a woman and the woman reciprocates the feelings for her and for him, and he may, you know, uh, you know what I'm saying? He may stalk her a little bit, but literally for the past 6 years, there's been this man on YouTube that has several children that he does not take care of, brags about it, comes online and says all of the normal nigga crap, niggaisms. I mean, literally a few years ago, this guy did a show about how you're a pimp if you get money out of a woman during her income tax time. And this is something that in the black community, like, why is it that ignorance is something that these black males think, and they want us to be looked at them. They want black women to be looked at the same way that they are. I support an entire family by myself. These men are so pathetic. I'm sorry, when you reach the age of 45, don't nobody feel sorry for you. If you are on here, literally, like, first of all, I run a company, I run a business, literally putting people on ignore on here, people that have been stalking me for years. And this man is up at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to fulfill his lonely soul, his lonely heart, and it shouldn't be anybody's problem in social media. Literally, I don't know this man from Adam. He doesn't even have enough pride or self-respect to think to himself, self, why am I doing this? Why am I harassing this woman? Literally, except for me, maybe making some videos on my personal vlogging channel towards my ex, I've been focused on work today. These men, they don't have anything else to do, and they don't even really know how to interact with a woman. They're like little children almost. And I know that men are already like little children. Like, I think most women, when they carry on with a man, we usually carry on like a mothering role to them, even some of the ones that are more responsible. But I honestly believe that this man has a void in his heart. And it's gotten to the point where there's nothing funny about it. It just shows what you were missing at home growing up. Now you're a 45-year-old man in social media stalking a woman, stalking her. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's all about getting some kind of validation. Also, I believe it's energy harvesting. Personally, I believe it's also energy harvesting. I believe that these people have been so, because regardless to how me and my mother, we may have kind of fallen off after I got older and I was more independent of her. I still grew up knowing that my mother loved me, even though she didn't really, say it. She didn't say it until I was in my 30s. But I grew up knowing that my mother at least loved me. And then also I had my grandmother, I had my aunties, I had my whole family showing me love. And I believe that these men were raised in such a poor, destructive, toxic environment that they are trying to literally rape our hearts. Now, I just had a man try to spin a narrative that I love him. He knows I don't love him because he's sitting at home, voided. Like, I feel warmth in my heart. I feel secure. You know what I'm saying? Bills are paid. I got direct deposit. Money is on the way to my account and shit. You know, what is wrong with this insecure man to where he just has to come out? It's not like he's just roasting me. It's not, that he's just roasting me. He is literally trying to claim me because there's nobody in this world that loves him. And for years, because he does not have access to his children, this is the one that has several children that he doesn't take care of. Women in the Black community are typically very self-sustaining. When men grow up feeling like their mother doesn't love them, it can create quite a bit of trauma within the mind. And, eh, you know, obviously, for you to be latching yourself on, or at least trying to, because I always do cord cuttings to this dude, because they will try to form a cord to you. You literally have to do an exorcism and a cord cutting to a complete stranger online that you've never met because he's trying to get love and validation from you. Why don't you have that security within yourself? I mean, look at me. That's how you can tell women are more powerful. I have had my ex, he has been mad at me for a whole year. Everybody knows how much I love this man. Everybody knows that I was in love with him. Even with what he's doing, I don't feel insecure about myself at all. Sure, I would love for things to be better between the two of us, but at the end of the day, you got to be a survivor, and there would be no way that I would need for him to validate me in order to survive. And I was going to talk about this, about making sure that you do, because I've been dealing with this and running a business, dealing with these motherless children. And they're so thirsty that when they see a loving woman, it's like they're going to damn near try to force you. They're going to damn near try to force you. And it's like, I don't even know. Who are you? Why is there a grown 45-year-old black male in social media that is so devoid, unfulfilled, unnurtured? Where is this man's mama? I mean, and why should a complete stranger in social media have to deal with you? Whoever his mama is, I think her name is Deborah or something. Why didn't you love your child or either teach your child self-love? I don't ever feel that way during the witching hour. I'm over here doing spells and rituals. This man's heart is voided. He has like this void in his heart that he's trying to fulfill with complete strangers online. Stop. I mean, it's bad when you meet up with somebody for it. This man, he met up with somebody last year for a one night stand and literally tried to conjure love out of that. And it's like, there's no love. That woman doesn't love you. She just slept with you. That's it. Why? Why would his mama send him out in the world with no sustainable life skills to where women online, such as myself, business owners, have to be bothered with this man that is completely unfulfilled in life? And keep in mind that he lives with his mother as well, still at the age of 45. Okay, still lives with his mother. Doesn't pay any of the bills. He just gets to sit around. It'd be different if he lived with his mama and he didn't stalk and harass women online. Then we wouldn't even know that this man exists. But the fact that you not only live with your mama and you're not doing anything to change the situation, and then you come and you try to sit yourself, like literally, it's almost like this man is trying to sit in my lap like I'm Santa Claus or something. There is no way that any black man should feel that effeminate to the point where you are so insecure within yourself, and I've had to do work on this guy only because, well, number one, I've made the mistake of talking to him on the phone years ago, and he did what we call back in Kansas City a loser latch on. First of all, if you're a man or a woman, I know that I wasn't trying to pursue any relationships until I got my money together for myself. And it still ain't together. It still ain't where I want it to be, but I'm satisfied. Okay. I'm appreciative. You know, my spirits is doing their job because I got direct deposit. And to have people enable and support that type of failure, it's ridiculous. Like, first of all, there's not too many black women, and if there are black women that are pursuing these types of men, um, hey, but if I'm gonna date a black male, he's got to have his financial situation together. In fact, the only men that and then another thing, what's crazy about it is that, I've never dealt with a man that didn't help out financially or either, pay the bills. I've had children. Um, they all try to stick that welfare lifestyle on black women. And while they're not going anywhere, but any man that you've seen me dating, he did for me. Ain't no man ever came over here and drank. If anything, he's bringing me what I need. And if I got some drink at my house, if I got the bar open, what am I gonna do? Make him pay? Oh, you got to pay $5 to drink my wine. If I got wine, I'm gonna share it with them. It's like they don't even know. It's like this man doesn't even know the normal way of living life. This is why I don't get along with a lot of people. And just to have like I'm just sitting up here, and the first thing that I felt, because I'm very empathic, he puts up this video. Okay, it's got 28, 29, 30 dislikes and one upvote, where he's trying to claim me when he knows it was a practical joke, like he knows it. But the first thing that I felt was the void in his heart. Why do you think that you're not into, and a lot of them have entitlement? You're not entitled to any random person that you see in social media just because she's black. I mean, they are so childish and they throw so many temper tantrums that you can't even come. It's made it so difficult and hostile for me to even come on here and do my rituals. And they're so ignorant that instead of them doing a ritual, okay, by the way, I got them money spells on deck. eh, you know but they'll say, oh, that witchcraft is bad, while they're in social media exploiting black women that they've never met. I think it's ridiculous. It's the most ignorant thing that I've ever seen. And this is the reason why I'm going to tell y'all ladies something. If you are a black woman and you are a boss and you are about your business and you got black men doing stuff like that, that's why I work with Shiva and Lord Ganesha and Lakshmi. That's why. They are very helpful when it comes to that. If you black women are being stalked at work, Lord Shiva, God of destruction. And I think they should be kicked off YouTube. They're not even showing any kind of artistic capability. There's nothing artistic or creative. You can't even really call yourself a content creator when you're constantly stalking somebody. And I'm not even, you think I'm gonna blame this on anybody else? I don't care who's in my life or who I'm talking to. I'm not gonna go on my platform and do that. Nobody is worth embarrassing yourself like that. Like nobody's worth that. Like nobody's, that's not even anybody else's fault except for your own. So literally all day, I ain't said nothing to this man. Nothing. Literally. I ain't said nothing to him. I don't even think I think I did address him yesterday. I wish other people would start ignoring this person because I know I am putting this person completely on ignore. But why? Let me ask this black man a question. Why would I be on your? Because I'm not gonna. I can't afford to take care of this man's 7, 8, 9, 10 children. Okay, even if I was a multimillionaire, I still wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Why would why would you be thinking about Jamila at 2 o'clock in the morning enough to be harassing Jamila instead of thinking about what you have to do in the morning for your children? In the morning, I got a lot of business I got to take care of for my children. I have bills to pay in the morning. As soon as my direct deposit hit my account, why won't you do that as a man? This is the reason why you're so thoroughly disrespected all the time. A grown responsible man is not going to be doing this and literally will try to take charge. Nobody respects you. I was up doing readings and I'm doing spiritual work. I can't really go to sleep until I'm gonna have to snuff out this candle before I go to sleep. Uh and resume work on it tomorrow so that I can, go to sleep. But I've got stuff to do in the morning and like a life. I think that if you stay with your mama for too long, it'll turn your mind into mush. You got to get up and do something, dude. Like 2 o'clock in the morning, stalking me. No, that's not what a grown man should be doing with his life. And they're trying to become a problem for you in social media, trolling social media. You haven't like is that what you have to do to sell your songs? This don't even make no sense to me. These men have got to get it together. And this is the reason why their children are not being taken care of. This is the reason why women have to hold down the fort. And we don't hold on to hope. We just do. We make it happen. Okay. I think these men need to be kicked off of social media, is what I believe. Get off of social media. Okay. Because we all know that his children are not being supported. This is why I don't support his platform, because I know that he has like a 4 and a 5, or either his kids might be. I know they're under the age of 10. This is the reason why I don't support fuckery channels. I don't support them. I'm not going to sit up here and look, if a man was not taking care of his children, or if a man that I was involved with was not taking care of his children and was running away from his responsibilities, I would not want to be with him. I wouldn't. So I've always been that way. If you're a man and you have children, I don't care. I'll take a man with children as long as he's taking care of them. This man is not. He literally has several children. He should be working 2 or 3 jobs. He's sitting around on unemployment, not doing anything, thinking that it is okay to fuck around on YouTube. No, you are a grown man. You should be doing something to make sure that those children have school clothes. Now, I noticed that because I homeschool mine, would never send my child to a school, especially with COVID. Sorry. This man was bragging about his children going to school. Did you even buy them school clothes? Probably not. The mama had to do it. That's why I would never support that boy's channel. I'm not going to support you neglecting your children. I hate child neglect. That's exactly, and then people will sit around and they'll talk about how deadbeat of fathers that black men are. But then they'll go and support their fuckery. I don't think so. Because I have been that woman. I have been that woman that has had to I supported all of my children on my own, financially and in every other way, while their father was out in the streets doing God knows what. And this is what a majority of them are doing. If you find a black man that is responsible, hold on to his ass for dear life. These men are irresponsible. No, I don't respect you. Uh, you know, and I just think it's ridiculous. This man does not, he just can go around dropping off his seed everywhere to a bunch of women, and he don't have to worry about, like, tomorrow, I have to order groceries tomorrow. I have to sit here and actually do the mental work because I don't stress about it. Trust me, I don't stress about it. I work, I work with money goddesses, so I don't stress about the responsibilities that I have. But at least I care. Like these men, and they'll say something like, you want me. Trust me, I don't. All you do is try to distract people from what it is that they're trying to do with your bull crap. I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. Sometimes maybe, but it's almost October, and it's not even fun to me. I was doing it with an exact purpose that had to do with somebody else, had nothing to do with me enjoying that situation, because I think it's pathetic and it's pitiful. I think that you should be ashamed of yourself for being a grown man that is on YouTube at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, not earning any money that is sustainable for your children. You don't even bother to upload content that can be monetized. And then you'll go and you'll say, hey, Jamila, you have a tarot channel that gets less views than me. You come on here and literally throw your entire life away, putting up content, bragging about getting as many as 90 live viewers when you're not monetized. So they're basically just fucking off their whole lives. They don't have no rent to pay. They don't have no mortgage to pay, and harassing people that are responsible. Now, all of them have an ignorant ghetto mentality that's in that sector. Every last one of them, except for a couple of them. It's a few of them that don't, but there's a lot of them that do. Okay. I remember last year I came one year because they were claiming that I was on Section 8. So, of course, I showed my rent receipt. These men have got to stop embarrassing themselves, but they're not even embarrassed by it. Like, I don't have time to deal with the motherless children of the corn. They don't care. I've told them several times, stop harassing me. Stop sexually harassing me. If I come on here and dance, it's not for you. I didn't do it to get your opinion. Like, this guy constantly gives his opinion on how I look and how I sound, and I've never asked him for his opinion, don't care about his opinion or his validation. And he'll seriously sit up there and act like his opinion matters to me when I don't even. I'm like, dude, and I think it's ridiculous. And the main aspect of it is that you don't take care of your children. Me trolling you online is not going to take care of them children. You are not. Okay, think about it. Children cost a lot of money. He's got several children that he doesn't take care of. And he'll actually have the audacity to show his face in social media. He doesn't have access to the many, many baby mamas that he has because they don't want nothing to do with him. So what does he do? He comes to YouTube and he looks for women with children to harass, not to mention, I do believe that the reason why the dude is pursuing me is probably because he, uh, I don't even think it's pedophilia. I just think that he likes to corrupt the youth. He doesn't want to accept that you have to have money to make it in this society. He doesn't want to accept that. He doesn't want to accept that earning $9,000 in 1 year is not going to sustain a family. And instead of him doing better, he decides, I'm going to hate on her and stalk her. And you know your mama didn't do a good job raising you as a man. Even single mothers can raise their children with better morals than that. You're a man in social media trying to compete with another woman as well. That is effeminate. That's an effeminate trait. It doesn't look good. And they just don't care about their lives. Sometimes I believe that this may come from some sort of, I don't know. Sometimes I do think that it's religion. I'm not sure because I do know that a few of them have came on here and, talked about the holidays and stuff. And, they extra stalk me during the holidays for some reason. I can imagine that none of them have ever went to the store and bought anything besides a soda and a bag of potato chips with anything other than an EBT card. Like, I know it's a lot of people out there that's having a hard time right now that may have went and, had to, do what they had to do, which, I totally understand. But these men were raised on welfare. Like I'm 45. My parents were never on welfare. Both of my parents had jobs. Okay, I was an only child. My grandmother worked for the post office. Everybody in my family had jobs, their own houses. These men were actually raised on welfare. I wasn't raised on welfare. So this is the result that you get. They're always looking for something free too. It's not like, how with you know how sometimes you may fall on hard times or something. No, like their whole thing is and it's like, that's fine if you want to live your life like that, but why don't you leave other people alone that take pride in what they do? And very, very jealous when they see you growing your business. Men, these are supposed to be men. I mean, I'm not even going to say anything about the Black community being in trouble because it doesn't have anything to do with the Black community. It's all about your own personal power. So it has always been within my personal power to support my own children. Now I am a business owner, and you have Black males constantly going around the internet trying to develop a relationship with you that you don't want, harassing you, And it's kind of like they can't even accept the scraps that you gave them. They have to bring up old scraps. They won't scribble scraps. Because they don't have to get out there and pound the pavement to put food on the table, because the government just gives it to them. And the government don't even give them to, they don't even understand that those food stamps are only supposed to be a supplement. All of that stuff is supplemental. So their diets are compromised as well, right? Instead of them making healthier food choices, they will fill themselves up with a bunch of junk because they're trying to budget within that. And this limitation, they want to spread it like a virus. No, thank you. Especially when you're a business owner that runs a company and you manifest a lot of money all the time. Like, they don't know nothing about money drawing. They don't know nothing about law of attraction. They don't know anything about that. These people are lost. And so when you teach a Black male religion and not how to survive, this is exactly what he's going to go through. And I'm going to tell you right now, my baby daddy wasn't in social media. Any of y'all women and your baby daddy is in social media doing that to a woman, she got the right to send all that to your children. Because you ain't got that man. If your baby daddy should be under your control, like if you got kids by this man, there should be some level of control that you have over them. This man has literally been stalking me because I guess he calls himself an alpha male that doesn't respect women. And after he broke up with his baby mama, he's been stalking me in social media, trying to tell me what to do with my kids. Dude, you don't even put food at the table for your kids. Shut up. But they don't know how, because it's completely, their minds are not programmed for that. And I think it was the way that they were raised. Why is it that it has to be our problem in social media? Nobody wants to be bothered with that. Like, I could even deal with the other situation. I can deal with my situation, my personal situation that's in social media. But you got a distraught, unnurtured, ignorant male that cannot fulfill himself to save his soul. You know how when you feed yourself, right? When you feed yourself, when you seed yourself, that's just like last night. I was eating blueberries and strawberries and, bananas and stuff like that. Like, these people don't know how to nurture themselves. So they come to social media, see, they're literally, it's not vampirism. It's parasitic. It's parasitic. Like, if you come on YouTube, if you are a content creator on YouTube, there are a couple of frequencies that I recommend. I would recommend for you to do daily meditation, especially if you got a loser latch on. This is if you're on YouTube or in real life. You know, daily meditation, it's a Reiki frequency that you can listen to. It's called Take Your Energy Back from Vampires, or Take Your Power Back, because they want to almost switch places with you, and literally they're constantly on the prowl to try to use you for validation. And it's like, what are you talking about? And I think that their voided upbringing constantly plays out in their mind, because this man goes around saying that everybody loves him. And I'm sorry, you know, it's not that you can't love somebody like that, but when people are get like it's annoying. It's annoying. I'm into herbs and oils and I'm into what I'm into. I'm not into sitting around all day trying to latch on to some damn body. I don't have to do that. And then when you tell these people, look, you've got to work with your ancestors. Like this whole time that I've been beefing with my mother before she passed away, I was in constant contact with my grandmother, who is a very powerful ancestor of mine. And when I called to her, you can feel her presence. Okay. You can feel her presence. I was kind of not bugging her today, but I went ahead and ended up invoking her during the witching hour. So she got her cigarette and her offering right now. Okay. I just don't know what to tell people. You got to find other ways of fulfilling your life other than coming in social media, literally trying to hijack somebody. It's almost like they're trying to kidnap you. Or it may be some cunning way of soul snatching. You can tell when your soul been snatched because you can feel it. You can feel it. It'll make you feel real kind of empty and just hollowed out. Nah. Okay, that's when you got to call to the end. And my ancestors are well fed. I got the whole palette downstairs. My entire downstairs smells like strawberries, blueberries, cookies, and flowers. So my spirits are well fed and happy. Okay, and they will make sure that I have everything that I need. These men are missing that. And so that's why they make such a big deal out of me because of jealousy. It's like you ain't about to distract me from my blessings, honey. My blessings is on the way, baby. Always. And so one of them, I think that he said that, I think that he literally comes in social media just to get his cigarettes or something because, he just lives with his mother. And see, for me, I'm trying to get my grown son out on his life. I'm trying to get it. So not only that, they are trying to imprint on my son. I'll be damned if my son is going to be 40 something years old, 30 something years old, still living with me. Nah. So I'm working extra hard. I got to work on my own son. Like sometimes I have to remind him to take the trash out and stuff like that. Like I don't have time to be trying to raise somebody else's son when I got my own damn sons. And they just don't get it. They just get upset and talk about what you're not doing for your kids. But wait a minute. You know that I am in social media because I am advertising my business. You know that. You've been knowing that for years. So if you actually could serve as a distraction, which I don't think it's cool or wise to, just put a kid out there before he's ready to be out there on his own. So I'm preparing my son to move out, and these men, I believe that they're trying to cause obstacles, but they've never been able to. It's almost like they're loitering outside my store. They've actually loitered my business. That's why my Etsy shop isn't up. Because they got together $400 so that they could attack my Etsy shop, which it'll be back up soon, but I'm not going to be selling rituals on there. The way my new website is set up is that you have to check out through Amazon because I now have an Amazon store. All of this is happening while these men and you know what their reaction to it will be? Ignorance. They have absolutely nothing smart to say. Nothing in their portfolio at all. Nothing. And it's like, and they'll say, and you want me? No, I'm sorry. I don't want to end up living under a bridge. There are actual real problems. Speaking of bridges, you see what's happening with the Haitians. It's a lot going on. And you know what? The threat of death didn't even change these men's minds. The threat of death with COVID, they don't even care about that. They just remain ignorant. Anytime any kind of new advice or advisory on how to live their lives is suggested to them, they ignore it. Listen, guys, it's like talking to a brick wall when it comes to these types of men. I mean, if you're like that by the time you're 40, then you're probably pretty much stuck in your ways. Now, I do believe that people can change for the better, but there will be an ignorant response of either you're ugly, hey brother, why don't you go and get a couple of jobs and actually take care of those kids? You know what the response is going to be? To do a show saying that I'm fat and ugly. But you know what? I'm fat and ugly. Yep. I'm fat and ugly, but I take care of my children, don't I? I'm fat and ugly, but I'm holding it down over here, ain't I? And you're over there with your mama. So come on now. I mean, we have been having this same conversation for the past 6 years, have we not? And I believe that if you are a male and you neglect your children while you're alive, I believe you're going to hell. I believe these men go to hell. My kids are hungry, so Jamila, I have to come out in social media, even though I'm not going to actually feed my children. You know, I actually just ordered groceries today to my house. I can produce a receipt for groceries. I can produce these receipts that were paid for with my debit card. This is a grown man, 40 something years old. You know what his response will be? You ugly dude. Something is wrong with your brain. And who would be okay with that? What kind of woman would be okay with a man that does nothing for his children but bring a bunch of devastation and dust and poverty into your children's lives? And then get mad at women for working from home. Well, women should work from home. Women should be set up at home to work from home so that they can be there for the kids, maybe even working for another company or your own business. And I think men can do that too, but honestly, nobody wants a lazy bohazy. Like when you think about a man, you think about men at work, you think about them digging ditches, you think about them doing construction, the ones that are into the blue collar ones that are into manual labor. Or some men like to cook for a living. When you go, I know over there in Kansas City, Missouri, where I'm from, Gates Barbecue, best barbecue in the world, is in Kansas City, Missouri. There is no barbecue that will ever taste like Gates Barbecue. Okay, very world famous for the barbecue. Those men that work as a cook, they got women all over them. First of all, they smell like barbecue. Don't nobody like. Then you have your men that are, they may work in the corporate world. Nobody wants a man that does nothing with his life unless it's somebody that is doing nothing with their lives. Like now, if you want to be somebody that's like into real estate and you just invest and you earning your paper like that, that's another way of earning money. Okay, that's another way of earning money. However you do it, but when you literally are doing absolutely nothing, your children have to wait for their food stamps to come on the card until the first of the month. They can't eat until then. They got to eat potato chips. Have y'all ever seen that movie Bastard Out of Carolina? And you remember the mother that she had to give her children crackers with, and everybody has seen hard times. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like families can struggle like that sometimes, but for 6 years straight, this is it. That's all. And you gonna tell somebody else what to do and how to do it. You're some kind of authority. They are delusional. I can promise you all last week, I had so much work to do for clients. I have a case I'm working right now for a client, right now. Right. And so sometimes I'll be up late and I'll just have bags under my eyes the next day because I was up all night working on that. I don't care about how I look. It's about what I'm doing. And I think that vanity and glamour, somebody has told these men that nobody's interested in that. We want people that are handling business that make it happen. On Thursday, instead of slamming down Thor's hammer, these men are putting feathers up in the air and in their hair. They're not mining any coals or doing any craftsmanship or anything. They're literally blank, distant. They'll come on here on a Thursday acting crazy. It's like, did you ever think that maybe you could have manifested yourself some money today? No, because they're not being forced to do it. They're not, they have to be forced to pay child support to their kids. And if they do, it's the bare minimum. We had one of them on here trying to brag. I take care of my kids. Oh my God, you literally showed that your children had to divide $100 per week amongst the 7 of them. How in the hell is $100 a week? I wouldn't even have done that. I wouldn't give him credit for that. I'm sorry. You got to work harder, buddy. That's the standard of being a good father. I know just recently I had to give my children over 20 grand. I shelled out over 20 grand just to my daughters and my granddaughter alone. $20,000. And this man gets to come on YouTube, harass. This is why he's being ran off of here. He gets to come on YouTube with a false confidence because he had sex with somebody last year, that of which we're not going to mention. He gets to come on here every day, fuck around, make music that will never sell, try to sell merch that have never sold. And literally he gets away with dividing $100 a week amongst several children. You have failed. The day you see me with 7 kids, trust me, I'm a millionaire. If you ever see me push 7 children, but I have 4 living, I had an angel baby. If you see me push out 3 more children, there's going to be millions. There's going to be financial security. I'm not going to be on here talking about, see, people don't see that and they accept less. So because his women in his life were willing to accept less, and it's still women that are willing to accept less out of a man, I expect more of you because I've done it. I've done it by myself without a man. Manifest thousands. I draw thousands per week into my company by myself as a woman. And you as a man are bragging on your children literally getting $20 a week in child support from you. You can't feed no child with $20 a week. And then they'll go, well, ain't enough money in the world to take care of all these kids, so I give up. Are you out of your mind? You know what? Shout out to all of the men in the morning that are going to get up and actually support their children. All of the respect should go to those men and those women. If you're a woman that's about to get up in the morning, if you're hell, it's 4:00 in the morning. Some of y'all already up getting ready to go to work or either to run your business. Salute to y'all. Because y'all care, y'all give a damn. Guys, I can't. And I'm not going to speak on any of my exes. Like, I can't even speak negatively on my ex because he is gone. But I wanted him to be more responsible. But you know what? You know what, women? I didn't sit around and play victim when it came to that. I said, you know what? I'll just do it myself. I'll take care of him. And I did it for years. And I think that when you get to be, because I started my company when I was 37. Okay, that's about the age that women are starting their companies. Some of y'all are even younger than that. And I think that this man actually wants me to be intimidated by him. If you're a man that literally believes that giving your children $20 per week is supporting them or less than that, you have no power over anybody. And they'll come to my channel. They've been trolling me, talking about your witchcraft don't have no power. To her, I paid my power bill this month. I paid my gas bill this month. I paid my rent this month. What you talking about? That's a fallacy. That's a fantasy because they're hating. And I think it's absolutely preposterous. By the way, guys, we're giving like 5% to the end. I'm gonna start donating to Haiti to Haiti. Okay. Seriously, because they are actually in a crisis over there. I've been meditating and praying for Haiti a lot. I'm doing it right now because they're like they don't even care about anything, not even their own children. If it were not for Uncle Sam and the government, your children, your very own children that you father, the fruit of your loins would not survive without the kindness of others, without somebody being charitable. Those programs, and they get upset and they get angry. And I know for a fact that this man only encouraged his son to not go to college so that he wouldn't have to pay child support. If your kid goes to college, you have to pay child support till they're 25. Why can't you go out and earn 10 grand per month? Why can't you go out and earn 20 grand per month? Why haven't you found your north? Why? Because they ain't found they south, they ain't found they east, and they certainly ain't found they west. And that's the reality. I just, and you know what? This is what I'm saying. Like, that kind of energy shouldn't be, business owners, because I am a Black owned business, and I feel that even when I put up my shop, I feel like they loiter. You know what I'm saying? I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come and say that and express a little bit of frustration. When you take things seriously, for example, I am getting my credit together. I actually just joined this credit fixing agency. It's I've worked with them before because I'd like to prepare myself to buy my lake house. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that you can accomplish, but sitting around all day giving up on life, and at the very least, like, when my children call me and they ask me for something, and I may be kind of running low, it actually sparks something inside of me for me to go and get it for them. You know what I'm saying? And so, as a parent, and not even just a parent, because there's a lot of you guys that don't want kids and haven't had kids, as a human being that, sees the kind of which they say that it's the devil's system, but I think that it's just common sense. Your energy goes into what you earn, your energy as a person, no matter if you're a male or a female, Black or white, tall or short, fat or skinny, it doesn't matter. Whether or not you're pretty or ugly, whatever, your energy is how you are going to earn that money. And if your energy is being put into places where it shouldn't, that's the result that you're going to get. You're not going to get anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it is important to find something, find, and you know what? Maybe, I don't know. They do have career days and stuff like that in certain places for people to go and try to find, some kind of interest in something. I do believe that whatever it is that you do have to enjoy doing it. So these men have got to find something, and if you didn't get it from at home, then you have to go out and find it. Like everybody else, and nobody's necessarily going to give you that. You can find a partner that supports you in manifesting that, and it is easier. It should be easier if you have a partner. If you have a partner and they're not making things easier, then something ain't right with that. But even on your own, you got to find your way. Okay, and latching on to people, that's like, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that it's good to have some pride. You know how in the Bible it says to not be, being proud is actually considered to be a sin. Having some kind of pride, but I think that it was misinterpreted, because I do think it's good to be proud of your accomplishments, even, and I do believe at the same time, finding your north is also about enjoying what you're doing. You know, having accomplishments. When I moved into my house, it's an accomplishment. When I pay my bills, it's an accomplishment. When I take care of my children, like I said, my children, they done spent a bunch of money, and they needed it. So, this is what we do. Stop neglecting your children, because that's all they're doing. Nobody has time. Nobody has time or energy to put into something that is not going to sustain a person's lifestyle, and I think that, first of all, we live in a much safer neighborhood than we did before, and so this is the reason why these poor kids are growing up in poverty, because nobody cares enough to get it together. But I care about mine. So, I'm going to make sure, hey, I don't care if I had to prick my finger. If I have to prick my finger and put a little drop of my blood on a candle, I will do it. And people can laugh at me all they want about my witchcraft, but it works. So, of course it works. Okay, because whatever witchcraft has been used on them is working, because literally, I think that, especially if you're a parent, you should love your kids more than that, than to just let it all go into, to completely give up on life, and because we still gonna be here in another 100, 200 years. We still gonna be here in about 1,000 years. We're still gonna be here as a society. And if you don't get it together now, your children, your bloodline, you won't be considered to be a good ancestor to your children. Because part of the reason why we even survive while we're here is because of our ancestors, up to several generations ago. They're the ones that paved the way. If your ancestors didn't pave the way for you, then that's when you have to turn to, other means. But there's always a way to do it. And let's face it, if you're here, that means that your ancestors must have done something correctly for you to even be here and exist within that bloodline. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta go. I will see y'all later. Have a good week.